We're going to do one poem about art. So I'm thinking music is an art, right?
Yes.
So if music counts as an art, then this piece is about how art can affect social change. And it's called Rock and Roll. But you say you know all about rock and roll. I say, so you think you know all about rock and roll? Well, you don't know nothing if you don't know about the days of old. So let me take you way on back to a time when America was divided into two countries, white and black. Back when everybody liked that. Back when father knew best. Back when every Aussie went to work in his gray flannel suit while Harry stayed home watching Little Ricky and baking with Betty Crocker. Back when brand new television cameras could show singers from head to toe because they didn't move nothing. But across the tracks, on the dark side of town, a revolution rumbled underground. Down the back alleyways, in the juke joints, in the chitlin clubs, a musical gumbo bubbled away on the back big burner. A gumbo made up of cotton-picking blues and Sunday morning gospel shouts and 8 to the bar boogie-woogie and spiked with a taste of hillbilly white light. Strains of this music echoed across the tracks to where Alan Freed heard it and started spitting the 45s over his airwaves. When that happened, with a womp bop a doo bop a lop bam boom, the genie was out of the bottle and dancing to Little Richard, screaming about his tutti frutti, boom! And Chuck Berry, that brown-eyed handsome man, duck walking his guitar across the stage, playing it like a ringing a bell. And Bo Diddley walking his 47 miles of barbed wire, wearing his cobra snake necktie. It was crazy, man. So crazy that kids burned down concert halls, rocking around the clock. Oh, you can't have this, said the colorline guardian from beneath their white sheets. And they unleashed their most powerful weapon of cultural destruction. Hat, boom! But even he couldn't stop the spread of the music, and pretty soon white kids were dancing next to black kids on bandstand. And after that, it wasn't long before the riding freedom buses together down to Mississippi and Alabama to face down the Bull Connors. And Rosa Parks wouldn't take a back seat. And Martin Luther King was dreaming at the feet of Abraham Lincoln. And the dominoes kept on falling at water fountains and lunch counters and ballparks all across the country until a half a century later, an African-American man stood knocking at the front door of the White House saying, "Guess who's staying for dinner?" So now you know all about rock and roll. Anybody here from New Britain? I thought there might be some people from New Britain at the New Britain Museum of American Art. So this one's for all you all, and it's called New Britain. I live deep in the Bodega Republic on Ellis Street, 2 blocks down from the old brick factory building where North and Judd manufactured the fasteners and the buckles that kept the pants on for the Union Bluebellies and the Doughboys and Willie and Joe. Now, it's where people keep leftover dreams in self-storage units. At the corner, there's a quickie mart where I wait in line with blacks and Latinos to buy lottery tickets from the Pakistanis behind the counter. On my lunch hours, I walk the city streets and see faces with the same profiles as those carved on the sides of temples in Palenque and Chichen Itza and Monte Alban and Machu Picchu. Reminders that the same current that animated the New World when it was old still runs like a deep bass line behind all the different beats of all the different peoples that followed that Italian navigator who lost his way searching for a shortcut to the spicy vineyard. Friday nights, my wife and I go down the street to the pizza joint run by an Assyrian who hires a Turk to make the pizzas. On Sundays, we walk in Walnut Hill Park, designed by Frederick Law Olmsted, the man who gave us New York Central Park and the U.S. Capitol grounds. A man who today would be derided as a socialist for believing that working people should have free access to publicly owned parks and playgrounds. In the park, we joined the parade of stocky Polish guys in warm-up suits, and Indian women in flowing saris, and shambling old Italian men, and women in chadors pushing baby carriages. As we loop around the park, we see Spanish kids getting their first taste of organized baseball, and young Vietnamese girls trying to play tennis, and West Indians on their cricket pitch. Over on Broad Street, a new wave of immigrants has reclaimed the Poles' long-time turf from the biker bars and the seedy strip joints that littered the street not so long ago. Today is where people do their weekly shopping in bright, shiny delicatessens, in bakeries and butcher shops where it's hard to find someone who speaks English. Now I know that the red, white, and blue people in their tricorner hats don't like this dizzying babble of languages and a rainbow spectrum of skin colors, but this is the new globalized America. And this is what America has always been, a place where people come from all the corners of the world to add their tastes and energies to the melting pot, and the whole Mexican concoction gets melded into something with its own particular taste and its own particular genius that is constantly reinventing itself. So they can take their worn-out schoolbook mythologies and dump them in the trash bin where they belong, because this is today, and this is what's happening in the neighborhood where I live, New Britain. New America. New world. New day. Every day. So one last little piece of silliness here, and this is something called, it's called Freaks! Nothing but freaks! Everywhere I turn, that's all I see. Nothing but freaks looking back at me. Freaks on the front page daily news. Freaks on the TV, any channel I choose. Italian stallion, blue-collar stud. Wife not enough for this guy's bud. Finds a hot teenage lass, itching to grow up real fast. No tell, motel, no need of you. All they do is screw, screw, screw. She likes the piece and wants it all. Wife gonna take the big fall, gets a gun, shoots at the head, but the wife is in bed. Now it's out, the lurid tale. Public wants every gory detail. Daily headlines, quickie, books, TV, movies for in-depth looks. And for those who can't get enough of this line, 24-hour info line about freaks. These incredible freaks. Olympic hopeful, though she's second best, but wants that medal on her chest. Tells a goon, kneecap my rival, it's not fair play, just survival. Kick her off screams USOC, but corp execs say let her be. Think of the ratings that we'll get if they face off on our TV sets. We couldn't write plot this bizarre, let them skate, they'll both be stars, and sure enough, we all tune in to see which one of these freaks will win. We want to watch Freaks. Performing Freaks. Quiet young man keeps to himself, but under the surface he's something else. Psyche full of unresolved conflict. It makes this pup profoundly sick. Lovers come and never go. Inside his apartment is a horror show. Like a female magazine devours his dates, and I don't mean to transubstantiate. When the story breaks, we stare aghast like rubber knickers at a fatal crash. He's put away under lock and key, that's the last of him that we should see. But no, he is a big celeb whom the media machine won't let us forget. Every time there's a ratings sweep, TV journalists send you this creep to show us freaks. Nothing but freaks. I think I'm beginning to see the road fame my notoriety. If I'm caught with my pants down, I can make the talk show rounds. Agents are calling on the phone. TV producers won't let me alone. And if my sin is depraved enough, sell the rights for $1 million. I want to be a freak. Nothing but a freak. I want to be a mega hype in the spotlight. Overexposed name everyone knows. Magazine cover, sought after lover, headline fodder. No one's on her. Freaking.